You were supposed to come back with an update, Ms. Holtz.
Well, should we take a little break? Okay, we'll take a short break.
And I think Ms. Ferguson had something else?
Yes.
I put it under new business, the formation worksheet revised, and also the resolution 2012-83 revised.
Just like magic. Ms. Holtz, did you just want to go over this?
To specify that the proposal shall be submitted by January 1, 2014. I indicated that, I'm trying to find it on here, that they should obtain expert assistance from the university needed to educate members on the charter form of government, and that all should be completed by June 2014. That should have been changed to January 2014. I apologize. Also to recommend the manner of election for the first executive and council members. And if you go to the resolution, the title was cleaned up. The resolved clauses that have been added, that they shall submit its draft to the Board of County Commissioners no later than January 1, 2014. The board shall seek expert advice from the University of Maryland and shall hold 2 or more public hearings during the drafting process. The board shall review the charters of other counties to determine the best practices for Charles County. The board will be staffed by the Office of the County Attorney. Those were the additions that I made.
You know I always have a question. Commissioner Davis.
In the resolution,
Uh-huh.
it specifically, no, not the resolution, my apologies. In the formation worksheet,
Yes, ma'am.
it specifically says the charter board will draft a charter for Charles County to change. I don't think those were the instructions, do you?
The charter board, it was my understanding, would determine whether
Yes.
to move forward with
All
a
right.
charter form of
Yes.
government.
And
So
if
so
they
the board
deem so-
could determine after spending a year that it's not applicable to Charles County, it can come back to us.
I thought we were following the Maryland code,
Yeah.
and because the eventual outcome will be determined
By the voter,
citizen.
yeah.
Yeah, I did not understand the
I mean,
charge
I
to be
thought that's
that.
what we voted on.
I thought so
I mean,
too.
we established it, and we used as a reference the code.
Yeah, that's the specific reference in the
Well, I think it should
annotated code.
ultimately be up to the voters anyway, so I think that's fine.
So as long as, at least 2 of us didn't understand that, but, so.
Kind of like a minor
so that's-
subdivision.
That's appropriate, that's what he said.
Kind of like a minor subdivision.
So we all agree that we are charging them to draft the form of government,
Exactly.
the charter form of
Like,
government,
'cause this is different than,
the advisory.
right, because
This is a
before,
board.
there was like an advisory body, but it wasn't based on the code, or wasn't established under the code.
So my next question is, so we give the board this charge,
Yes.
they come back with with a charter document. Is it up to us to approve it, or are we out of the mix altogether? and just-
No, it requires, you can make changes to it as you see fit, and it requires a vote of this body to place it on the
ballot.
ballot.
So
Okay.
you can. be
Right, so it's
opposed
really up to
still
us first, and if we,
For it to become a referendum
right,
item.
that's
Got
fine.
it. Okay, is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
Yes. So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Davis.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robinson. Any further discussion?
Just very briefly, just assuming we pass this, at what point will we begin advertising for members of the board? I would think since this is a pretty,
This week.
Start some preliminarily?
Yeah, but it'll go up. We just needed to see exactly, this formation sheet gives us what we need to put it out. So we will do that. We'll start working on it tomorrow.
Okay.
great.
Yeah, hopefully there will be enough
Oh, I think there will be.
applicants that early in January, they can get started, so they have as much of a full year as possible.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Motion carries, and I believe that they've been in contact with Ms. Ferguson, our clerk, to make proper arrangements. So thank you. And next, Ms. Holtz?
Several months ago, I think it's months ago, we did pass a charter resolution establishing a charter board. Since then, we had an organizational meeting, and there are several things that we desire to add to the resolution to formalize it better. This will clarify the appointment of alternates, which was not included in the resolution, and it also specifically states the official beginning and duration of the terms in accordance with the Constitution, and the timing of the work of the board consistent with the November general election.
Thank you, Ms. Holtz. Any questions or comments, Commissioners?
Is it on the agenda? I'm
Yes.
missing it.
It's
Yes.
I'm looking at,
It's under approval
Charter
items,
board.
ma'am,
Got it.
the fourth item.
thank you.
Okay. Do you want a few minutes?
No, I have.
I move we pass resolution number 2013-12.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Davis. Any further discussion or questions for the county attorney? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Holtz. Next, we have agenda. Okay.
And Madam Chairman, may I say, when I reviewed the clips,
Microphone.
I noticed that, as much as I hate to admit error, that I made a misstatement to the commission on the 11th of December with regard to the process
Constitution.
after the charter is written. The Constitution requires that once it's written and finalized by the charter board, it does come back to the commission, but for the purpose of advertising and forwarding to the Board of Commissioners, to the Elections Board.
Comes back to the Board of Commissioners?
It does come back to the board, and the board is responsible for 2 advertisements. It does not come back to the board
To
for
approve.
any modifications or approval.
And that's why I wanted
Yeah.
those clips dealt with, because this is some of the information that citizens are dealing with, and we want to make sure we have it corrected. So a status report and the opportunity to address this, and thank you for acknowledging that, although, you know, we'll take that up under when we get this on the agenda. So, just so we're clear, we're going to do this on the 14th as well. It's a status report, and we'll address some of the confusion that may have transpired. Okay?